Frankie Russo coming at you straight out of Brooklyn. How's everybody doing? Hope you all having a great weekend. We're on YouTube Live. I'm on Scope Live, Periscope, coming at you straight out of Brooklyn. How's everybody doing? It's been a crazy week as our great President Donald John Trump gets ready to open the economy up. What up, Mel? How you doing, my brother? I'm going to wait a few minutes. I tell you, man, I watched the press conference today, and our great president has done a great many things with this country. And now, what up, Justin? God bless you. Thank you for the visit in the Scope. We got a YouTuber to the Scope. Thank you, Gizmo, for the retweets. Beautiful, Mel. But for the grace of God Almighty, we're doing good, you know? So I tell you, Jay-Z. God bless you, Justin. Thank you for the kind words, my brother. So before I get into the political side on this thing, I'm just gonna quickly address, before I get into the political, because I'm gonna talk about two things tonight. We're gonna quickly address this Wuhan virus. God bless you, Jilly. Thank you for the visit. So I'm going to quickly address the Wuhan virus. Okay, Fox News, great broadcasting company, amazing. Brett Baer, all of them, right? Amazing. We're going to agree to disagree on this, okay? We're going to say, and we're going to, this week, because I'm going bigly into China, I'm going to get all the vectors, because this is where this campaign is going. This campaign is going China. I'm going to get all the vectors. I am going to go full throttle. Not tonight, but through the week. I'm going full throttle with the vectors. Chinese spies, the tech companies spying, everything. We're going full throttle with the vectors. And I'm going to start with the Wuhan vector, with the Tehran, Iran vector with this virus, Moscow with this virus, Venezuela with Hezbollah, the U.S.-Mexican border, the whacking of Soleimani, and we're going to put this together, and I'm going bigly with China. It's going to happen, right? So before I go there, Fox News is a great broadcasting network, Fox News. Great. But I'm sorry, I'm going to agree to disagree. The Chinese Communist Party, unequivocally, I don't know what happened in Wuhan, China. I'm over here. I'm not going to do the map tonight, but we're going to go to the map, the geopolitical landscape, and we're going in deep, okay? The Chinese Communist Party, I don't know what happened, though. Is it back to human, natural? I don't know, the DNA? I don't know, right? That's what happened. I'm over here in Brooklyn. All I'm saying is, and I think we can agree, based on all the data that's out there, that the Chinese Communist Party is in a major cover-up. Okay, Iran's involved in the cover-up, and so is Russia. So from there now, we're going to say, like I said on the show, we're going to go deeper now. We're going to take this now, right? We're saying that the Chinese Communist Party covered up this virus big time. And that cover-up took the virus to a biological weapon. So, Frankie Russo, what do you mean biological? No. A human biological weapon, okay? So at the very least, China quarantined Wuhan. They allowed the residents of Wuhan to travel the world and contaminate the world. And that's what we're at right now, right? So in our book, this China, this Communist Party, how about the Chinese Communist Party? Absolutely, Justin. The Chinese Communist Party created a human, by covering up this virus, created a human bioweapon. That's it. They created, they took this virus and made it into a human bioweapon. They quarantined their country against Wuhan. So Wuhan was quarantined. They allowed all Wuhan residents to travel the world except China. And Iran was coming in with into China. Iran 55 times Ma Air, the IRGC airline, the Khomeini airline. By the way, Khomeini, now the number in the open source, Khomeini, the Khomeini dynasty that rules Iran right now is worth 200 billion. Go figure. And Obama gave him, well, thank you, Obama. Obama gave him 150 billion back. That was the payoff to Khomeini. Ma Air is coming in to China and going to at least 5 countries to do the bidding of the Khomeini. To do the bidding of Khomeini. This thing is deeper than what's being told to us on these networks. Ma Air is going in there 55 times in February into China. China's quarantining Wuhan. Ma Air is owned, some of it, a little of it, something with the Khomeini and the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, right? And the truth be told, when our great president whacked General Soleimani, I'm telling you, this is vengeance, people. Iran's involved. China would love to reduce. China don't want us to go and crash and have a Great Depression. China wants our great president, Donald John Trump, to be stopped, slowed down, reduce our economy. And they did it. And Moscow, they play their games, right? Putin plays with everybody, right? Putin's building liquefied natural gas plants in Jamal Peninsula with China to import liquefied natural gas into China. Russia don't have the economy of America and China. That's why they do the bidding with China. That's why they do bidding with Iran. They're building nuclear reactors in Iran. This right now is what we're looking at. But this is just the beginning. Now what I'm getting is that this thing could come back with a vengeance. We could either we're in the, thank you, Wagafire. Thank you for the follows. Either we're in the beginning of a pandemic, which I hope not. I hope obviously this is the end of it. We hope, thank you, Wagafire. I hope this is the end of it, right? We hope. But this is, so let's, but for the grace of God, a man of Christ, a man of the rosary, but for the grace of God, we hope this is the end. But what I'm getting, this could come back with a vengeance. And if it does, it's going to go away fast. So we have to watch our hot spots, continue with the caution, so we have to be cautiously optimistic over here about the opening up of things. So what we're looking at is we get through this. What? Fauci's good. Fauci, wait a second. Wait a second. I'm Frankierusso. There's no bigger Trump guy than Russo, right? Dr. Anthony Fauci, let me tell you something. That cat is a bad man. He is top notch, okay? He may have been, with the Clinton thing, but this guy, when it comes to the science, when it comes to the science, I don't know, man. This guy's been around this stuff. Well, he didn't sell it. Wait a second, Golden. Wait a second. Okay? When it comes to the science, we got to, President Trump is an amazing administrator. What I love about Trump, it's basically common sense. He's a great administrator. He's a great leader. And basically, he has a lot of confidence in his gut. And his gut is usually right. Right? He's got Dr. Fauci. He's got Dr. Birx, that lady doctor. I'm telling you, Johnny, right? I mean, he's got Admiral General that Admiral Gerard doing the testing, right? I don't know, Golden. That's that's I'm not saying that isn't true. That could be true. I don't know. But to make statements like that without even how do you draw those conclusions? I mean, you just can't utilize, just say something. Yeah. So then you got the so you got Fauci, Dr. Birx, and you got Dr. Redfield from this. That from the director of the CDC, the director from CDC. And what's really crazy, hey, listen, I don't know, right? There is a Clinton connection with him, apparently. I'm not too honed in on it right now, and Dr. Birx as well. But I don't think they are very professional. They are very professional. These are doctors and scientists, and they're very, very professional, right? Truth be told, right? So, I mean, with the grace of God, we get through this. It comes back with the grace of God. It doesn't come back, but could come back with a vengeance. But I'm getting it's coming back. If it does come back with a vengeance, it's going back. It's going away just as quickly. So we have to watch where the hot spots are, and continue with this wearing the mask. I did it today. We got to keep doing it. I use my mask, or I bought some more masks, and just with the grace of God, we get through it. Because we still got to worry about. We still got to worry about a pole shift. We still got to worry about the water, and then we got to worry about nuclear annihilation. These are the deal. Now, this is what I'm getting. It's the real deal, Holyfield. Now, it's unfortunate because what really concerns me, I'm watching the press conferences on television today, and our great president, let me tell you something. Our great president is an amazing leader. He's done amazing things for this country, right? He knows they're not going to give him, they want him to not be successful. Much of that mainstream media, what's up, Marion? Much of the mainstream media don't want him to be successful. I don't agree with you, Jilly. I think Cuomo's a rat, but that's my opinion, right? So now, now I'm starting to look at this thing now, right? And I'm keeping this thing real now. Now we're gonna get political now. I'm keeping this thing real, So we understand now. Understand something. We can't sleep on this. I believe that President Trump's going to win, right? I dreamt in 2015 when I was at ABC, Trump wins. And I had a lot of dreams after that, and a lot of my dreams, I mean, I was on point. I dreamt a year and a half ago, Trump wins by a landslide in 2020. I don't know about that now. I don't know. Right? I don't know about now. Things, you get a snapshot, and then 6 months later, you got a snapshot. Things could change. And they have, right? I don't know for the better. Obviously not. People have died, right? Absolutely, JC. We're on fire. We called Michigan, Minnesota. He had, but that was robbed. Colorado was robbed from Trump. If Evan McMillan wasn't there, he wins Minnesota. He won Michigan. We called. He won Pennsylvania. We called. He won Ohio. We called. We called Wisconsin. We called the Trump victory from ABC. And a year and a half ago, I had another dream, and I had Trump winning by like a tsunami a year and a half ago. But things have changed. Absolutely, Jay-Z. So I don't know now, like if it's going to be a landslide or it's going to be more like 2016. But my fellow Trumpers, my fellow Trumpocrats, my independent Trumpers, this this is what they want to do, right? This is what they want to do. And by the way, not that it means anything. Absolutely, Justin. I really don't care. So I went online. A little sidebar before we get into the politics here. Before we get into the politics, a little sidebar. I went online, and the weekend, because I'm locked in. I'm in a house arrest, right? Cuomo's got us on house arrest. That's another thing, and we're going to get into that too. So Cuomo's got us on house arrest. I go out. I got to wear a mask. Okay, I'd rather, like I said, I'd rather see a great President Trump overshoot on this virus than undershoot. Absolutely. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you for the retweets. So I did a whole Google search, and I'm telling you, this is a sidebar. I thought it was funny. Not that it means anything, but it shows how much liars and frauds that they are, right? On Michelle Obama, right? So I'm looking, everybody, right? I believe Joan Rivers, right? That's where I believe. Thank you, Christian. Thank you I believe Joan Rivers, right? Absolutely, Marianne has to go. I believe Joan Rivers, right? And so I'm searching. I stumbled onto this blog, and he had this. I clicked, and I got into this video of Michelle Obama on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Now, let me tell you something. It was beyond belief. There is definite junk in that trunk. I'm sorry. It's like, what the heck is going on over here, right? With a straight face, I'm telling you, it is beyond. There's junk in that trunk. I'm sorry. There's junk in that trunk, and that changes the landscape, right? If there's junk in in Michelle Obama's trunk, that changed the landscape. They've been lying to us, right? I really don't care, right? They're trannies, whatever, alternative lifestyle. I really don't care. But the thing is that they've been lying to us. They lied to us, right? Those kids, they're not their kids. I don't think so. That junk, she's got junk in her trunk, man. That was crazy. And now, this is the reason why I go back with the vectors and I go forward. Because I knew that it was all this whole thing with our great President Donald John Trump and the deep state was going to come back to Hillary Clinton, Barack Hussein Obama, Michelle Obama, William Jefferson Clinton, Comey. It's all going to come back. Barry Soetoro, Barry Sabacco, all this stuff that I talk about and nobody talks about in the mainstream media, because it's all going to come back to that again. And we cannot look at Sleepy Joe and underestimate this. We can't. So I said, my last show, I said, so let's get a little political. In my last show, I love politics, I like a lot of things. So in my last show, I felt that Elizabeth Warren was going to be, at the very least, on the short list. I thought she was going to be the vice president for. Oh, I hope you're right, Marianne. John Brennan is a traitor from Jump Street, right? So I'm thinking that Elizabeth Warren is at the very least on the short list. And then you listen to some of these broadcasters on Fox News; they're very bright people, right? Dana Perino, I mean, she was the press secretary for Bush. That chick's a millionaire, right? She's got a great career. Brett Baer is like the top political anchor, the chief anchor, political anchor for Fox News. I mean, these people are making they got serious careers, right? I'm telling you. And, they say, well, Elizabeth Warren, she's she didn't win Massachusetts. That's not the point here, right? President Trump changed the entire paradigm on winning presidential elections. The traditional axioms are not always coming into play right now, right? I believe I'm getting Elizabeth Warren. If this happens, so be it. Michelle Obama, and I'm getting Elizabeth Warren as the vice president for Joe Biden, right? She's a disgraceful liar. She's a 0.001 chance of her being a native Indian, and she puts it on her. I mean, she's a stone cold liar. But however, she brings energy, and she's a big time attack dog. Truth be told, what up, people? She's gonna bring energy. I think she's definitely in the running. Have a blessed night, Julie. What up, Johnny? What up, Noon? So I don't know if this is going to happen. I don't think Michelle Obama wants it, right? I don't think, and if this does happen, I don't think it's like everybody says, well, if Michelle Obama is the vice president, absolutely, John, right? If Michelle Obama is the vice president, everybody's saying, well, it's going to be unstoppable. I don't think that's the case, because the one axiom I believe is in play here. The top of the ticket is what pulls the weight in any election, let alone the presidential election. When people, right, Johnny, when people go to the poll, they're not going, I'm voting for Michelle, guaranteed. I'm voting for Michelle Obama. No, sorry. The majority of the people are going to say, we're going to vote for Biden. I'm telling you, Democrats, when the Democrats go to vote, they're not, that's why, and Biden doesn't bring that kind of, it's just not going to work that way. Maybe he'll be out. I don't know. I don't think so. It may be too late, Barbara. The logistics may be too late for that. Is it going to be Michelle Obama? Hey, I think Trump beats them anyway, right? Michelle Obama would be nothing to sniff at. I think she's a fraud. Obama's a fraud. Hillary Clinton's a fraud. William Jefferson. I think they're demons, right? Nancy Pelosi's a demon. I think they're disgraceful, right? But the truth be told, they're nothing to be sniffed at in this game of deceitful, low base politics, right? They thrive in this, right? Absolutely, Barbara. And what really concerns me when I'm watching this thing, the governor like Cuomo, that rat, right? Because I watched Mark Levin tonight. I tell you something, Mark Levin is amazing. That guy, I didn't agree with his choice for 2016 president. What up, Noon? But this Mark Levin is top notch. Probably the top, if not him and Andrew McCarthy, are the top legal minds. God bless you, Noon. Are the top. Absolutely. I hope you're right, Mike. Mark Levin, him and Andrew McCarthy, the top legal minds in the country, right? Great broadcaster. His rants have gotten better. He's just top notch, Mark Levin. He had a great show tonight. He had this professor from Stanford. He's a top infectious guy, and he's a statistics guy. So he has all these models. He really understands data. And his claim was that this is really an overshoot, like a big time overshoot, that the forecast models were very faulty, right? That's what he claimed, right? Basically. And he claimed that basically what he's saying, and he went that, what up, Noon? I hope so, Marianne. I hope John Durham does. I hope you're right, girlfriend. I hope you're right. But for the grace of God Almighty, I hope you're right. But let me tell you something. This Stanford professor of medicine with a medical background and a statistics background, he builds these forecast models. And he was claiming that the statistics they were using, the models they were using, the data, they don't have the data. And they tried their best, and they were really bad. They weren't very good, right? And he believes that it's a 1 in 1,000 chance. He thinks the number is more like 1 in 1,000 chance of getting infected with this virus. That's a 0.001 chance, like we've been saying all along. We're going to follow our great president's guidelines, but keep it back in mind. Don't panic. Relax. It's a 0.001 chance of getting infected. That's so it's just as likely as with a 0.01 chance of you getting infected with the virus is that Elizabeth Warren is Pocahontas, because it's a 0.001 chance that Elizabeth Warren is Pocahontas. 1 in 1,024, approximately, right? That's a 0.01. It's a kilogram, right? So, and then if you even go to the other extreme with the there you go, Justin. But for the grace of God, God bless you, Justin, for the grace of God, right? And then he said, because a lot of apparently, as we've been, what we've been told is that a lot of times, a lot of the highest people at risk are the people with the most pre-existing conditions, and he used the number with at least 3 pre. Wow, he said at least 3, right? So let's even go worse. 1 in 7, according to the Associated Press, they said 1 in 7. So 1 in 7 is a 14% chance of you getting infected with this Wuhan virus. That means you have an 86% chance of winning, of not getting infected with the Wuhan virus. Those are, with the grace of God, in 2020, November 3rd, we hope, with the grace of God Almighty, that our great president, Donald John Trump, has an 86% chance of winning his reelection, right? That's what we want. Those are really good numbers. That's what we want. So I'm just, so we're going to keep this, in its perspective. We're going to follow the guidelines, but now I'm getting rid of you, bro. You cursed in here. I'm going to get rid of you. I don't want to get thrown off the air. God brings the curses. You can't bring curses in the room. So now I'm going to get a little more political now. So my concern is, right, Johnny Hastella, and also too, with these faulty models, they're using them. The governors are wheeling, because President Trump's got to. President Trump. He's like juggling a rough situation, right? He keeps the country on lockdown. He knows his economy. Who knows what it'll be like in a month from now? He's very much aware of this. I tell you something. His decision making is I'm telling you, Johnny, it's really bad, right? So like we're looking at the Wuhan virus, which could come back with a vengeance, but it'll go away quickly. So we got to keep our masks on until this thing goes away, which we hope by the time it gets really hot, the heat comes and it goes away. So let's say it comes back before the summer, the midsummer. By the midsummer, the heat's here and this thing just goes away, right? With the grace of God Almighty, we hope. We hope it never comes back. But we got to look at the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is this thing comes back with a vengeance. But it's going to go. I got right, exactly, Johnny. It comes back with a vengeance and goes away just as quick, right? But understand now, these governors have got this thing on lockdown. They got their states closed, and the Democrats are loving this, so they can hide Joe Biden in the basement and really, really, really manipulate his. Having him in the basement absolutely, Grits, as bad as he has been, very bad, very bad as he's been on these live streams. Still, they have him on house arrest in the basement, Joe Biden. And they're thinking about the vice president, Amy Klobuchar. I don't think Amy Klobuchar is the answer for them. I think it's going to be Elizabeth Warren. Because the truth be told, they have a lot of ground to make up with our great president, Donald John Trump. So people don't understand. Trump's not only fundraising beyond belief, but he's sitting on a howitzer, right? He's got a social media that's on steroids. He's got the algorithms going. And the rallies, though he hasn't been on a rally for a while because of the virus, he still had all those rallies before. And the data from those rallies, beyond belief what Trump is sitting on, right? He's got a lot of options, President Trump. Absolutely, Johnny. But it doesn't matter for these Democrats. Look what they did in 2016 with all the stuff that Hillary Clinton was involved in. She got 200 plus 200 and change, like low 200 electoral votes. She was almost president. I mean, Trump won handily, but she was in the hunt with all the corruption. And Biden has just as much corruption. So these voters, and we got to understand something now. So what I'm concerned is the Senate, the governors control the states. They lock it down. Some are talking they're gonna lock it down for months. They're not gonna open it up till August, September. Some states are gonna be closed because they know. You see, there's one thing the Democrats know: another 4 years of our great president Donald John Trump, and they can kiss their party goodbye. This is their last hurrah. We, as Trumpers, if you're Trumpocrats, Trumpers, independent Trumpers, Republican Trumpers, we can't rest on our laurels. This is going to be a bloodbath, November 3rd, 2020. And I think that the Democrats got some things up their sleeves. Is it going to be Michelle Obama? I think Trump still beats them, but it's going to be nothing to sniff at if Michelle Obama is the vice president, right? The top of the ticket, I believe, it pulls the weight, and Biden ain't pulling his weight. So, I mean, do the Democrats pull a switch in the convention? They're very capable of it. Right. And that's the other thing, Mike, is the Democrats are going to push for mail-in ballots, right? That's scary. That is, you're right, Marianne. That is scary. That is scary to me. We have got to stay focused on this thing because this is not going to be a lockdown. I'm hoping we have to be cautiously optimistic. He will get Hillary. Okay, I got you, Jay-Z. I'm with you. I don't know what you're talking about, Johnny Hostetler. I don't know what you're talking about. What laws? What are you talking about, Johnny? I don't know what you're talking about with Trump. Without Trump, let me tell you something. Without Trump, environmental. Are you kidding me? Without Trump, where are you going? Without Trump. Without Trump as president, where are we going? We're going back to Obama. Obama's going to campaign. Michelle Obama's campaigning. She may even be on the ticket. This is the reason why I tell you, Fox News can spend all the money they want. Russo's always on point. Look at all my vectors. That's why I go back, because I knew it was going to come back to Obama and the Obama-Clinton crime family. I knew it, and it's coming now. This is it. This is it. They're going to talk about the timing, which is a lie. Anthony Fauci called them all out. And he said Trump was on point from the time he quarantined China to the time he quarantined Europe, then he quarantined the UK, and then he quarantined America. He was on point all the way down the line. He listened to the presentations of the scientists. Trump was on point all the way. And then you have the rats like Governor Cuomo calling out, talking to Trump, asking our great president to do all these things for him, and then attacking Trump's brains out in the public domain. He's a bad politician, Cuomo. Cuomo is a Fredo. He's a Fredo or Fredo. Got two Fredos and a Sandinista in New York. New York politicians are very bad. Cuomo didn't learn anything from his father, that's for sure. I didn't agree with his father's policies, too liberal for me. But boy, oh boy, he was some politician, man. He ran 4 times, lost the 4th time. He ran 4 times. He almost was a 4-term governor. Andrew wouldn't have survived when his father ran. Andrew wouldn't have survived. Andrew's in an era where the GOP is just shot. The GOP in New York is shot. Right, Justin? It's crazy, Mike, right? And we don't even know because the vectors go to Venezuela. Hezbollah's in Venezuela. We had Trump. You see, what happened was the Democrats, well, the administration is going back to the Clinton administration in '92. President Trump is picking up all their messes. And then when there's a problem, Hillary Clinton, Barack Hussein Obama, Joe Biden, Joe Biden is, these people are demons. It is scary with these governors and the control they have over the states. It's scary. What are they going to keep them? They're going to keep the people in house arrest because they're worried. Trump, let's face it. You know, they got to be saying Trump's a force of nature. Trump is a freaking savage, man. In the political arena, oh my God. You see what these reporters try to do to him? I'm in New York. I'm Brooklyn, Mike. I can't stand Cuomo. And then what they look what Grits. Look at Virginia. Look at Michigan. What was the other state? It was Virginia, Michigan. Was it Minnesota? What was the other state? Was it Minnesota? Where they were really over the top with their restrictions. You can't buy furniture. Minnesota. You can't buy furniture. You can't. I mean, that chick in Michigan, she was ridiculous. I'm telling you, the governors control when they're opening. I don't know. I was walking down the streets over here in Brooklyn, and a lot of places closed. I don't know how they're going to open up. I don't know how they're opening up. Nah, Trump, Johnny Trump. He's getting reelected. Who's that? Who's she? Trump's getting reelected. I think so too, Mike. I think so too. But you know something. We can't. What I'm trying to say is, I'm cautiously optimistic. We can't get caught up. Trump's going to win by a landslide. We got to go out and make it happen. We can't assume anything over here. These Democrats are so deceitful. Look what Pelosi did today on the Chris Wallace show. I watched the Chris Wallace show today. Now, Chris Wallace, you know, I call him out. He was good today. He really pushed back on Pelosi. He did. When I think Wallace, there you go, Barbara. When I think Wallace is a coochin', I hate to use that expression, but I just did. When I think Wallace is getting a little soft, I call him out, you know. And I'm telling you, he pushed back on Pelosi. Pelosi's lying. She's lying through her teeth. The Speaker of the House, through her teeth, lying with a straight face. With a straight face. These people are really bad. Come on. These people are really, really, really bad. Really bad. And it concerns me because they will do anything to win. They don't care. If they have to, they got illegal aliens voting, right? Look what Newsom did. Newsom is giving them $500 checks. So they're getting ready to vote. That's 2 million votes in California for Newsom. Right? It's crazy. And you know something? We call them psychopaths, but we really don't want to believe how evil the Democrats really are. And the rhinos, the Mitt Romneys, how evil they are. They are so evil It's beyond belief. You know, this election, everybody says is the most important. Everybody says this election is the most important one. This one's the most important one. This one coming up is the most important election in our lifetime. President, we get Trump in. We get Trump in. We get Trump in for another 4 years. I want him to go 3 terms. We get Trump in for another 4 years. The Democrats are looking at a pushback of 10 to 20 years because Trump's going to have judges. Trump is really going to go. Because there's one thing I tell you, and you know what I feel about President Trump. He's going to be a savage on the. It's going to be Trump. Absolutely, Mike. I'm you know, all my family's from Italia. I think Andrew Cuomo is a disgrazia. My Italian grandmother would say a disgrazia, right? Stone cold liar. Stone cold liar. And he sits there with a straight face like he's got an MD from Weill Cornell that if he ever sat down with that Stanford medical doctor with in infectious disease and statistics that Mark Levin had on, that he was attacking all those models, I think Cuomo would have to go home. I think he'd lay in the street with the Islamists and screaming Allah Akbar. He's such a rat, man. Cuomo is a rat. Oh, lying through his teeth. Lying through his teeth. He's in charge. Calling out. He's not a mensch. No means. He's got no, I mean, he's a crepe hanger. He makes people feel like, you know, instead of being cool, and he's ridiculous. Everybody goes, he's ridiculous. He's Fredo all the way, man. He's a rat. Him and his brother, 2 Fredos and a Sandinista. They all deserve each other. Oh, Justin, very bad. Very bad. Very bad. Instead of saying, I'm talking to the President of the United States, and don't attack the President. I said this a week ago. Don't attack the President publicly. Talk to the President privately and get things done. Who cares about what you're belly aching about? He's ridiculous. He's absolutely ridiculous. But we got to watch the governors because they're going to look to shut this down as long as they can. They're going to fight for a mail-in ballot because Trump is a savage in the political arena. A savage. It's going to be 2.0. You know, we can't sleep. I think Trump's going to eat Biden's lunch. And who knows with these Democrats? They're capable of anything, right? The superdelegates, they're claiming now are in play. Did they put that away because they didn't want Sanders because he's a moron anyway, Bernie Sanders. Moron politician. What up, Chief? So now we're looking at a situation where they're going to try to mail in ballots. They're going to try to steal this thing. This is what I'm saying. And it worries me. They're not going to play fair here. Let's face it. They're not playing fair. Democrats don't play fair. And they know Trump wins here. This is the most important election in our lifetime. And they know Trump wins here. Trump is going to change the landscape like you've never seen. And he's going to be a savage. He's going after all of them. He has to. Because well, I like Mike Pence. You know, I don't know. I mean, I was a little iffy with Pence, but he's really become a real chief ally. I had a problem with Pence. I thought Pence was with Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney, that whole Wisconsin crew. But he's turned, I mean, to President Trump's credit, he's sharing power with Pence. He's sharing power with Pence, right? He's sharing the stage with Pence, big time. Trump's a rock star, right? He's sharing the stage with Pence. Yeah, I'm just concerned that they're going to try to steal this thing, big time. We can't sleep on this. We cannot overlook the power of the mainstream media. You saw it today. They will hound our president till the last day. He's, you know, with the grace of God, till he's in there for another 8 years. I want Trump to be there 3 terms. That'll finish off the Democrats. We cannot have a Democratic president. We cannot have Democrats. They are the worst. They are selling this. They want to sell us down the river. They got the Islamists in the bushes. They got Congresswoman Omar, Congressman Tlaib. They are selling us. We cannot have a Democrat anymore in the White House. Can't have it. And they can't run the House. They can't run the Senate. We gotta go out there and we gotta push for our president big time. This is the most important election in our lifetime. Here it is, right here. And we got calamity that we have no control over, like a pole shift that might be real, and I'm getting, for me, it's real, where the magnetic field flips, and we got tsunamis 10 to 50. We got natural disasters coming. They're gonna attack us. The Islamists are gonna attack us in the water. You know what's crazy? And I'll tell you the truth. Trump did a great move whacking Soleimani, right? Right? He whacked Soleimani. We were on a quiet red alert, right? We were on a quiet red alert. You know what came out in January? Soleimani was whacked January 2nd. You don't think the Khomeinis coming back for revenge? They went for revenge with our men and women of the United States Armed Forces in Iraq. You don't think he wants to come for revenge over here? The virus, right? This is the point. The virus. China wins. With the virus, China wins. China wants to get above us economically, right? Iran wins. Iran wants revenge. Oh, it is. You think? January 6th or 5th, Jazz, there was a red alert on the U.S.-Mexican border that four Iranian nationals were carrying explosives into California, right? And then it came out that they came from the northern border, and we were waiting for them. That's how this game goes, right? Asymmetrical warfare. I'm over here. No, I'm over there. And then it ended up being the guy. I read the article. The guy was from CAIR, the Council of American Islamic Relations. And he's crying that America is Islamophobic and xenophobic. Meanwhile, the FBI had him dead to right on the Holy Land Foundation trial. 246 Muslim Brotherhood front organizations, Muslim Brotherhood operatives inside this country. And the Obama-Clinton crime family, quite frankly, Jays, dropped the charges. So they're here. They're here. I read it already, Jazz. I read it in my last show. But this is the point. The vectors don't lie, there, son. The vectors don't lie. That's what I forgot to write in my thing. The vectors don't lie. Because I'm looking at Venezuela with Maduro. Trump calls in the narcotics. I'm going after the narcotics, right? He calls in the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Why? To stop Hezbollah. Hezbollah is the biggest, they're one of the biggest drug traffickers on the planet. And they're in with Maduro in Venezuela. They go up through Venezuela, through South America, right into China. They're on the U.S.-Mexican border, and we have some vectors that show that they're there. What do you mean, how do I know this? We are, hey, listen, I'm outside looking in, no U.S. Congressional Oversight Committee, no International Atomic Energy Agency, no Joint Chiefs of Staff, no National Security Council, no access to classified docs, nor do I know anyone who has access to classified docs. Court papers, judges' decisions, peer-reviewed journal articles, and well-sourced, well-researched open source articles. What we're searching for is a quasi-model, quote-unquote statistical significance, and no likelihood nor probability for trends, differences, and patterns in the data, and then we attempt to conceivably reach reasonable, responsible conclusions. And by the way, we believe our conclusions are close. Classified information is the mean. We're within the standard deviation of the mean, the Russo disclaimer. So we're close. We're creeping toward I'm going to say incontrovertible truth because I'm on my couch here in Brooklyn. But we're creeping toward statistical significance. Okay, so we got the vectors in Wuhan. So based on what happened in, I'm a little excited. I'm sorry, people. I'm very, very excited. I'm very excited and concerned about this whole ordeal. The governors have a lot of power with the states. They're going to they could conceivably keep this thing closed longer than necessary. Now, I'm not saying that we don't overshoot, make sure everybody's safe. We don't want that. Yeah, 100%. But they're really, really ratcheting it down, these Democratic governors. And I'm concerned about it. We got an election coming up, and Trump is a rock star. This is, Mike, we can't sleep over here and say Trump's going to win by a landslide. We got to make it happen. This is going to be a bloodbath, right? So with that being said, they control the states. They're gonna fight for a mail-in ballot, right? They got Sleepy Joe at the helm. I don't know how they get rid of him. They could. The Democrats are capable of anything, and they know this is their last hurrah. Trump gets in another 4 years. They're gonna be put back maybe 10 to 20 years. Trump could do that. Trump is top notch, but this is not going to be as easy as everybody thinks, is what I'm trying to say. Say they go with this. They got Sleepy Joe. He did, John. But they're not going to, right? He's got Sleepy Joe. They want Michelle Obama with him, right? That's what the Democrats. They're dying. They're begging for Michelle Obama to be their VP. Say they pick Elizabeth Warren, which I think they're gonna, which is she's definitely on the short list. Elizabeth Warren is on the short list because this is not about the Democrats. If they need somebody to win Massachusetts, then no, they need an attack dog. They need energy. No, I'm not. I'm not overthinking it. I don't think I am. I don't think I am, Master Blaster. Son, I don't think so. Because I think that, we have to, this is not good. This is something, I believe Trump's going to bring the economy back, but how much, right? Right? Well, absolutely. But all I'm saying is, well, of course we're going to do that, Master Blaster. Of course we're going to do that. But I'm not, I'm cautious, because I talk to a lot of my Trump friends, and they say, "Oh, it's going to be a landslide." I said, "Bro, we don't take nothing for granted over here. We don't take nothing for granted. We don't take nothing for granted. We don't. We don't take anything for granted." And I'm telling you. So I was saying, so Soleimani got whacked January 2nd. Iran was rumored. They had this Mexican lady. She was speaking Spanish. God bless her. She was the chief of police of this Mexican city. It was an English-speaking, Spanish-speaking. God bless you, Porky. It was an English-speaking, Spanish-speaking network, and she's talking to them in Spanish, and they were translating it, and they were saying that she's ready for the 4 Iranian nationals, and they're not going to make it to California. They were waiting for them, and then we got an article where there were Iranian nationals that were held up on the northern border. It's crazy stuff. This was in January. The Khomeinis worth not 90 billion, but according to the open source, I'm not his accountant. I don't know for a fact. According to the open source, it's now 200 billion. Thank you, Obama. Thank you, Hillary Clinton. What up, Lenny? President Trump. I'm for Trump. It's crazy. Thank you for the kind words, Lenny. But no, I want Trump to win 3 terms. Absolutely, Porky. We hope, but let's not rest on on the fact that we think it's going to be a landslide, that Trump's going to beat Biden in a debate. Because I thought Sanders showed me how much of I got this Malik guy. Sanders shows me how much of how politically weak that he is. He is not politically astute at all. I just think Elizabeth Warren is going to be the Democratic guy. I don't think Michelle Obama wants it, but who knows? She may have to do it. That's what's scary. She may have to do it. Oh my God, it's crazy, right? And but the reason why I'm talking like this tonight, and I'm very excited about this, meaning that I'm trying to stress that he's Sleepy Joe, he's Creepy Joe. We shouldn't sleep on this. In other words, we can't sleep on Biden. We can't sleep on the Democrats. My biggest fear is them trying to steal this thing. That's my biggest fear. Right. And look what they did to President Trump, from the Mueller report to the impeachment fix, and now we got a virus that who knows, right? Who the hell knows where people are coming from? Who knows, right? The reporters hate Trump, right? And they are obviously in cahoots. Thank you, Jay-Z. They're in cahoots, right? We cannot underestimate the corruption and the levels of evil that the Democrats will do to win. And that's the failsafe. That's something that has to be, and I'm sure from the Brad Pasquale and the other digital campaign manager, that Trump's got the best around them. I'm sure they've got that all factored in. But I'm just talking from people to people. We have to, we cannot sleep on this, because the Democrats is by any means necessary. They don't care how low they go, because they believe that they're on the right side of this thing, and obviously they're not. I don't think it's like that, Jazz. I don't think so. No. I think that okay. Obviously Trump's in a good spot, right? Our great president. He's sitting on absolutely. No question. No question, Porky. All I'm saying is I'd rather be cautiously optimistic and don't just assume that Joe Biden is running it. This is going to be like we have to keep and not take anything for granted. We can't take anything for granted with these Democrats. They are very bad, and they'll do anything. They'll go to any extreme to win. Look what they're doing with the governors. Look what Cuomo's doing. You don't think he's politicizing? He's already hoodwinking all of Connecticut, the Connecticut governor, the New Jersey governor, and he's in with, I think he sent ventilators to maybe the Michigan governor. I mean, okay, that's true. And thank you, Jesus. But for the grace of God, Barbara, thank you, Jesus. That's true. But that's when, Barbara, you're assuming that the Democrats are going to be on the up and up, that we're going to have an up and up election. I don't think that's going to be the case. I saw it in 2016. Trump would have won Minnesota if Ivan McMillan wasn't on the ticket. Trump got robbed in Colorado. Trump won Colorado. Trump won Minnesota. Trump won Wisconsin. Trump won Michigan. Trump won Pennsylvania. Trump won Ohio. Florida is going to be, that's Trump's firewall. But the cheating now, Barbara, is going to be more beyond belief. The level of corruption is going to be beyond what we believe. I hope you're right, Porky. A Reaganist victory, nobody will be happier than me. Nobody will be happier than me, bro. I just don't believe. I don't believe the Democrats. I don't believe the Democrats are going to be on the up and up. I mean, they're going to go to a lower level than they did in 2016, where Donna Brazile, who broadcast for Fox News, who's a contributor, fixed it for Hillary. They're going to go worse than that. As they submarine Sanders in California, they brought in the superdelegates and they fixed it for Hillary. They're going to go, they're capable, the Democrats, of anything and everything. This early voting, and they're going to make up excuses because of the virus. They're going to go hard for mail-in ballots because that's how they could cheat, as President Trump would say. It's going to be, right, they can't beat Trump on a straight-up election. They can't beat him on a straight-up election. They could have mainstream media call in telling everybody that Trump's losing in the polls. They could submarine Trump's numbers. They can't beat Trump on a straight-up election. They have to cheat and cheat and cheat. That's the only way they're going to win. And they're capable of it. They got the governors now controlling the states. I don't think I'm overshooting. I don't think I'm being alarmist. I'm just being honest. On a straight up, I'm paranoid. Okay, you're entitled to your opinion. I just think I'd rather be, something, Master? I'd rather be, absolutely, Barbara. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I'd rather overshoot on this and, at least we're aware of it. We watch for it and let's say it doesn't happen, which I think they're going to try. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Come on, man. They have a lot to lose here, the Democrats. I hope you're right, Master. Blaster. You gotta understand something. Everybody looks at this thing and the economy, is down. Trump's economy. That's beautiful, Cal. So what I'm saying is that we cannot rest on our laurels. And quite frankly, the Democrats now are facing conceivably extinction. This identity politics is a loser, right? They downplay our Trump's numbers, our president's numbers. They downplay his support. They lie about him. They've attacked him for 4 years, yet he still wins, right? All I'm saying is the only shot they got here is to try to steal it, cheat like really bad. Do stuff. Exactly, Barbara. We can't become complacent. That's the whole point. Because the only way they could go on this thing is to cheat. I mean, really cheat. That's why there's already talk. Pelosi's talking about mail-in ballots. To me, their fight is going to be at the polls. They're going to try to fix the numbers. 100%, Cal. Absolutely. Total loon. But they'll have him on lockdown, house arrest. Who knows if he's going to debate Trump? If he debates Trump, I'll be floored. If he debates Trump more than once, I'll be floored. He has to debate him once. Trump annihilates him, he hangs out. Right? This is politics, man. Presidential politics. It's true. And, I don't want us to be on the other end. We know they cheated and it didn't, we're better off being aware of where they're capable. To me, outside looking in, Trump looks ornery. As I wouldn't want to be facing Trump on a re-election campaign, right? Looking at this thing from a political perspective. You're right, Elbow. It's ridiculous. So it's absolutely, Cal. I agree with you. So Johnny, what's up, Johnny? So check it out, right? So you wouldn't want to be facing Trump, what he has in his pocket, right? Trump has got a freaking howitzer. He's got money. He's got data from the social media, data from the rallies. The bully pulpit. Nobody plays the bully pulpit better than Trump. He's got all this going for him. So if you think the Democrats, they've been fighting him for 4 years. If you think the Democrats are just going to say, okay, Trump won, this is where I say I don't think so. They're going to try to do whatever they can to change the result by any means necessary. That's how the Democrats play this. They go by any means necessary. If they got to keep the borders open and have 2 million votes in California, that's what they'll do. If they have to have votes where more votes that are in districts where people live, that's what they'll do. They'll do anything. Look at those close elections that we lost. Look at those close elections in 18 that we lost. I guarantee you, if there was 6 or 7 close elections in 18, right, we won one. The Democrats won all of them because they stole them. In 18, right, when Paul Ryan and the rhinos, 44 Republicans resigned. Oh, he's going to win, Lisa. He's going to win. 44 Republicans resigned in 18. 44. What did Trump do? Trump says, we're not going to win the House. They're going to win the House. Ryan just did a sandbag Trump. So Trump said the fail-safe was the Senate because they're going to try to impeach him, and they did, right? And Trump said, well, the Senate's going to, and that's what Trump did. That's why Trump put all his emphasis into the Senate race, because you impeached through the Senate. That's Trump's fail-safe was the Senate. Here, the only way the Democrats win is by stealing it. True, I think. The only way the Democrats win is they try to steal it. I think so. Even with Michelle Obama. They could put Michelle Obama on the ticket. Trump beats them. On a straight-up election, Trump beats them. Trump beats them with a straight-up election. Trump beats them. Very concerned about this with the Democratic governors and their controlling when the states open up. Yeah, where'd you get that? See, look, Trump's approval rating, they say, right? This is the same thing. I was at ABC. He's doing a great job, Danny. I think he's doing a great job. And if you really look at this, right? Just look at this. I think President Trump is doing an amazing job. I really do. And I think that with this, the Democrats are strategizing to have Biden hidden in the basement, and they're trying their best pitch. Maybe Michelle Obama, they're going to Michelle Obama's going to have to run. That may be the case. I think Trump's still going to win. That's what I believe. But this election is not going to be a straight-up election. 16 was corrupt. It wasn't the Russians. It was the Democrats. That was the ruse there. They fixed it for Hillary, and Hillary couldn't believe she lost. And that's the game, right? Absolutely, Barbara. Absolutely. I hope you're right. I just don't believe the Democrats are going to go away quietly. I just don't believe it. They're too corrupt. The Democrats are too corrupt. They're too corrupt. I'm not saying the Republicans are choir boys, but the Democrats go above and beyond. The Democrats go above and beyond how corrupt they are. Cuomo sits there. Look how bad they are. Cuomo sits there calling out President Trump for 40,000 ventilators. They know, and Trump knows how important, not only, it's very important. And he calls Trump up and he says, I need 40 ventilators, Donald. Trump puts him on hold and he turns to Mike Pence, the lady doctor, Dr. Barex, Dr. Fauci, Dr. Redfield from the CDC, Admiral Gilbert, the test expert. And he says, I got on the phone Andrew Cuomo, and he claims we need 40,000 ventilators from New York. Is this guy for real? And the lady doctor says, he doesn't need 40,000 ventilators. Trump goes, you don't need 40,000 ventilators. He goes, we do. Cuomo on the public domain calling out President Trump, claiming he needs 40,000 ventilators. This past week, Cuomo gave away 150 ventilators. He's a rat. Now that's a rat. See how bad he is? That's a rat. That's how bad he is. Now that is a rat in my world. That's a rat. That's how bad he is. That is a rat. Think about that one. He's got a straight line to Trump. He's from New York too. Yeah, I need 40,000 ventilators. Trump goes, they're all laughing. He needs 40,000 ventilators. This guy's nuts. The lady doctor goes, he don't need 40,000 ventilators. What does Cuomo do? Calls Trump out on the president of the United States. Calls him out in the public. And then he'll call him up privately. Hello, Donald. Yeah, he gave them away, I think, to Michigan. I think he gave a few. Oh, yeah, he does. He cares about New York, sure. He'll lay in the streets with the Islamists. He says the pipe bomber and subway pipe bomber was a lone wolf. He's really honest. Yeah, right. The lady doctor, Jazz, Dr. Barex. That's Dr. Fauci's protege. And it's really crazy. Fauci gets on the mic. There you go, Johnny. Right? Then Fauci gets on the mic and he clears all of the issues they were trying to say, because President Trump knows that they're lying about the way he handled. I'm telling you. Oh, Massachusetts. He gave to Massachusetts. Okay. That's right. Massachusetts. You're right, Johnny. Massachusetts. You're right. I don't know if it was Michigan or Massachusetts. I knew it was an M. But when you think about it, and how bad they are, right? I'm sorry. I'm optimistic about our great president and his re-election chances. I just, absolutely, Wagon Fire. I just, and this week I'm going to bring in the vectors. I'm going to bring in the vectors with China. We're going to go from the Bill Clinton administration right through. That's why I go. Do you see why we do this over here? We go back to 92, 95 with Bill Clinton and China and what he did with the W-88s and George Tenet calling them out, claiming, I have it right here, George Tenet. I have it right here. George Tenet calling out George Tenet. CIA. The CIA. George Tenet. Great director, George Tenet. Now that was a bad man, right? China obtained by espionage classified U.S. nuclear weapons information that probably accelerated its program to develop future nuclear weapons. This collections program allowed China to focus successfully down critical paths and avoid less promising approaches to nuclear weapon designs. China obtained at least basic design information on several modern U.S. nuclear re-entry vehicles, including the Triad 11, the W-88. At the time, a most advanced nuclear warhead. The American scientists at the end of the 90s were going like this. Those nuclear warheads that China rolled out and displayed for the world look just like the American. They look just like the American nuclear warheads, Barbara. They stole from us. And Wo-Hu Lee, the Taiwanese scientist, downloaded the nuclear data on our computers in Los Alamos National Lab. And like China covered up the coronavirus in Wuhan, quarantined Wuhan, right, Danny? The Clinton administration covered up the espionage, the robbery of U.S. nuclear data from our computers, where we create our nukes, our nuclear weapons. Truth be told, that's a fact of life. Arlene Specter, Democrat, Republican senator, he was head of the Oversight Committee. He said, there's no doubt. That's right, Wagon Fire. The Chinese Communist Party virus. They took this virus. I don't care what Fox News says. It wasn't in a test tube. It was natural. The DNA. I don't care what it is. All I'm saying is the Chinese Communist Party covered up this virus and took this virus and converted this virus into a biological weapon, a human biological weapon. That's what I'm saying. Yes, they did. And China. So this is what I'm saying. President Trump's got his heel on China with all of those trade deals that were one-sided, while the American politicians were getting rich. You see, the American politicians before Trump were getting rich off those deals they were making with China. We got sandbagged, right? Look what happened with the virus. Our supply chain is China. We don't have control over our supply chain, but Trump's going to fix that. He's been trying to fix it for 4 years, fighting with the Democrats and the Rhino Rats. Danny, you're wrong. Absolutely, Justin. That's why what we're doing here is we're looking at another Clinton election. It'd be crazy. But what's Hillary Clinton doing with this in this whole thing? You think Hillary Clinton is just sitting around, right? She's gonna reel her ugly head, right? So is Barack Hussein Obama gonna reel his ugly head? Michelle Obama is gonna reel her ugly head. William Jefferson Clinton's gonna reel his. They're popping up. He's been calling out China for years, but right, like decades. Nah, we're going hard. We want to win. We want to win. We want to win. Yeah, Dennis, I hear you, my brother, but I don't trust. I'm sorry. I hate to be so cynical, but I'd rather be cynical and win. Right? I'd rather be cynical and win. So at least I know we covered all bases. To me, the only way the Democrats win is they steal it, and that's what they're trying to do. They got Sleepy Joe. This guy can't even stay awake in a discussion. That's right, Elbow. This guy can't even stay awake. Sleepy Joe. He can't even stay awake in a discussion. He can't even remember what he said 2 seconds ago. And they want Michelle as VP. We still win. On a straight election, we win. But this is not going to be a straight election. That's true. That's true. Look at Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill. Absolutely. You're right, Jazz. That's right. That's it. That's wagon fire. Because that you just hit it. You just hit it, brother, right on the head. Exactly. That's what I'm concerned about. Because they know. Because they know, Danny, they know that this is their last hurrah. You see all those chicks that are on Fox News, that Jessica, what her name is, and that chick Marie, they're big, they do talking points for the DNC. This is their last hurrah. They don't beat Trump. They know. They don't win over here. Trump is gonna not Trump, let me tell you, this is what I believe. All Trump needs is 51%. I hope it's a landslide. I hope it's Reagan-esque. But I'm going to be cautiously optimistic. You know, Trump's given, Trump's got it all right now. Everything's in Trump's favor, which is great, which is what we want, right? But we cannot overlook what the Democrats might do to try to win, because they can't beat President Trump fair and square. That we know. That's not going to happen. That's a possibility, Elbow, right? And they could. The point is, right, Elbow, they could do that, keep the virus going, no debates, and just have a mail-in ballot, right? That's their dream, right? That's right, John. A lot could happen. He has to get the economy going. And that's what scares me, because he's got guys like Cuomo and Murphy, these rats, these Democratic rats, basically working against him. Cuomo's working against Trump. All this he's not trying to be, they're trying to, with a straight face, they're trying to submarine our president. That's what I'm worried about. Hey, listen, I don't know. I'm not saying, let's face it, politics, presidential politics is ruthless. And the Democrats are evil. The Democratic Party, this is no longer, we're not looking at John Kennedy Democrats. We're not looking at Ronald Reagan Democrats over here. We're looking at socialists. We're looking at stuffed jihad radicalismists. We're looking at CARE, the Council of American Islamic Relations. We're looking at Congresswoman Omar, AOC, and Congresswoman Tlaib. Right? These Congresswoman Tlaib conceivably is a Qatari asset and an Erdogan asset in the Congress. Absolutely, wagon fire. So we, because when I watched Cuomo lie through his teeth, when I watched Pelosi today lie through her teeth on the Chris Wallace show, they're not going to try to beat Trump at the polls. They're going to try to steal this thing. That's the only chance they got. They're going to try to steal it. You're right, Elbow. You're right. I agree with you. You're right. Scheming. That's what concerns me, Seattle. Exactly. That's what concerns me. Exactly, Justin. Exactly. Right? Exactly. Right on point. Exactly. Look what happened with Katrina. The mayor of New Orleans was stealing the money. Look at Katrina. The mayor of New Orleans was stealing the money. Look what they did to Trump in Puerto Rico. Like you said, Justin, great point. Point well taken. This is, there's going to be a hard-fought election. Trump's going to win, but this is going to be a hard-fought election, because they're not going to be fair, right? They're not fair now. Why are they going to be fair on November 3rd, right? Right. Absolutely, wagon fire, right? They're not fair now. Is the left fair? Are the rhinos fair? The deep state isn't fair. All of a sudden, on November 3rd, they're going to be fair. They got early voting. Come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, you love Trudeau, I know. I know you love Trudeau, Danny. That's all I'm saying, you know. When I see this, they're all coming out, right? Maybe the corrupt wing, maybe the John Brennan, Leon Panetta, the Morell wing of the CIA is going to force, with Comey and Mueller from the FBI, force Michelle Obama to run with Biden. That's possible. Absolutely. Well, God bless you. Have a blessed one. Right, Johnny S? So who knows? Because I think this was a concerted effort between China, Russia, and Iran to reduce America. Because if you look at it, everybody wins. Iran wants revenge. China wants us to be number two, and Russia, quite frankly, they're complicit, right? They want to work with us. They want to work with China. They want to work. They're giving nukes. They're giving nukes to Iran. So they get, Russia plays with everybody. Why take bombers out of Guam? Look at North Korea. Look at the mess that the Obama Clinton crime family left. Look at North Korea, what Obama did with North Korea. What Clinton did with North Korea. Trump's picking that mess up. Look what the Obama Clinton crime family did with Iran. 150 billion because of the Hague. 1.7 billion to the IRGC. Trump's had to clean that up. Look what they did with the economy. Obama said we never get more than 2% growth. You got to wave a magic wand to get the jobs back. Trump went and made it happen. Trump picked up that mess too. All the way around, we elected President Trump to fix it. Right? And what happens here, Trump does it, Trump fixes it, and mainstream media, if there's a problem, blames him. When it's really the Obama Clinton crime family, where it really is the William Jefferson Clinton administration. Absolutely, Justin. But that's the point. That's what Trump's fighting. That's what Trump's fighting. And he's fighting now the illegal aliens. They're voting. You got more people voting that live in districts. And after a while, election after election, the numbers pile up. The numbers pile up. Think about this. Hillary Rodham Clinton was bleach biting, was destroying her server in the basement. She had a server in the basement of her house, giving away the nuclear codes to uncleared people, foreign enemy actors, foreign enemy countries of this nation. She destroyed the hardware. She had her server share. She was outside the State Department.gov, and she had her server share the same IP address with the Clinton Foundation server. Yet she was able to run for president of the United States, and she got 200 electoral votes. Thank God for President Trump. Anybody else, she probably would have beaten. Thank God for President Trump. Now, Joe Biden gets the nomination. He can't even know what he's saying. He don't make sense. He can't put ideas together. He's their nominee. They got him in the basement, and they're looking to resurrect a Michelle Obama. They still lose in a straight-up election, but this is not going to be a straight-up election. This is not going to be a straight-up election. I'm saying with normal fraud. Normal fraud is not going to be normal fraud here. We have to anticipate them to really go low. That's right. And she's, hey, look, she did all the stuff that she did all that she did with the server, the emails, 30,000 emails missing. What she did with Benghazi, they lied over there. They killed Americans. They armed up Al Qaeda. 10 years removed from September 11, 2001, Al Qaeda in Libya is armed up with 20,000 Soviet manpads and 400 FIM-92s, and Hillary Rodham Clinton is sitting there to run again. If she wanted to run for president again, she could. You believe it? Barack Hussein Obama gave Iran 150 billion back. Barack Hussein Obama gave 1.7 billion to the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. Trump sanctioned them. That's the difference. Trump pulls out of the Iranian nuke deal. That's the difference. Because he's an American and he loves his country. And everybody utilizes Barack Hussein Obama. And he's the biggest fraud criminal going. I don't know who's a bigger criminal, him or Hillary Rodham Clinton. You're probably right. It's probably 100. Only God knows, John. I don't know, Bartlett. All I know is we have to be very, very cautious over here. We have to be very cautious. I don't, Hillary's been exonerated. You got to be kidding me. I got people coming. Hillary's been exonerated. The biggest criminal going. What happened to Zeth Rich? Bodies dropped. Ron Brown. I mean, it goes on and on with the Clintons. It's crazy. It's really sick. It really is. That when you think about it, Hillary Rodham Clinton could run for, if she wanted to, with all the stuff that she did between her emails. John Deutsch was a CIA director. He had 31 documents in a computer in his house. He lost his security clearance. George Tenet really hit him hard. So much so, before Clinton left, he pardoned John Deutsch. He pardoned John Deutsch, did Bill Clinton, because Deutsch was going to talk. That's right. Deutsch was going to talk. That's right. That's why they did Benghazi, and they hired Bob Pickering from Boeing, and they hired Admiral Mullen to do the Accountability Review Board and exonerate Obama and Hillary Clinton for no wrongdoing. And then they captured Abu Khatala, claiming that he was the guy with Benghazi. Benghazi was a disaster, a gun-running operation out of the Benghazi mission, being monitored by John Brennan, Leon Panetta, and Morell out of the White House. They're so corrupt. It's beyond belief. So corrupt. And now they're trying to fix this thing against Trump. Flynn's going to get pardoned, Master. Flynn got set up. Think about that one. I didn't even get into that. The weaponizing of, in other words, the corrupt wing of the CIA, the corrupt wing of the FBI, used based on a fake dossier to get FISA warrants to surveil foreign enemy actors under that guise, but really to surveil and unmask Americans, like Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. Disgraceful. So all the training to the CIA and the FBI was used against Americans, used against presidential candidates. The corruption is beyond belief. So you don't think that they're going to go further? Yeah, he's getting ready. I think he's going to pardon him. He's going to pardon Flynn. I think Trump's pardoning Flynn. So this is we're no longer looking at a straight up, this is going to be fraud on steroids for the Democrats. They've got to have our eyes and wide open. This is going to be fraud on steroids. They're going to make 16 look like a joke. We got to be ready for them. Newsom already started. He gave a $500 check to 2 million illegal aliens so they could vote. He gave them driver's licenses and municipal IDs. Ask de Blasio. He did the same thing. Come out of the shadows. We love you. Here's your money. Here's your driver's license. Here's your mortgage. Here's your apartment. Now you vote for me. That's the Democrats. By any means necessary, they're going to try to buy this thing. By any means necessary. Any means. Wow. Newsom, like Jerry Brown, do you know that the 9/11 hijackers, I talk about this all the time, the 19 had 60 state IDs and driver's licenses. De Blasio's a Sandinista. Cuomo's a stealth jihad radical Islamist. Cuomo's laying in the streets with the Allah Akbars as they're blowing up buildings. Cuomo. The pipe bomber is a lone wolf. The pipe bomber is a lone wolf. Cuomo goes, yeah, the pipe bomber is a lone wolf. So a reporter goes, how do you know? What do you mean? He goes, yeah, you know, the pipe bomber used the internet to build the bomb. Thank God it didn't go off. So he's a lone wolf. Lone wolf. See, I mean, this is what I mean. This is disinformation. You're not informing the public properly. You're lying to us. The Boston Marathon bombers used the internet to build a bomb. They used Inspire magazine. Anwar al-Awlaki. Lone wolves. Right. They're in the bushes now. They're saying they're in the Islamists that live in this country during this corona thing. They're saying this the land of the infidels. You got to hear the stuff that they have on the internet. The land of the infidels. One New York Muslim Brotherhood operative was talking about sending all of the Egyptian Muslims to go coronavirus the Sisi administration. Yeah, in Egypt. That's right, Justin. You don't think the Islamists here, the physical Salafists, the Salafist jihadists, the Anwar al-Awlaki clones, you don't think they want to infect? We don't even know how this thing's spreading, right? Spreaded, if I use the right word. I don't know if that's good English, but we don't know how this thing spread. We got sanctuary cities. And if you look at it, it's all on the coast. LA, New York. New Jersey's right by New York. There it is. There's three. The three top dogs, right? 22 states opened up. California's not open. The coasts are not open. Why? The sanctuary cities. They don't want to talk about that. You know, I heard there was somebody from So I heard a friend of mine lives in Florida told me that somebody went on a plane in New York and flew to Florida and told everybody on the plane that he was infected with the coronavirus. And I went online to try to find it, and they wouldn't identify who the person was. Right? There you go, Barbara. Think about that. There was somebody that went on a plane during the time of, flew to New York, and while he was on the plane, he told everybody he's infected with the coronavirus. That the plane, nobody could get off the plane when it landed. It was like in quarantine for like two hours. True. Unbelievable. I went online, they wouldn't identify the person. Like Congresswoman Omar is in a Qatari asset, and Soleimani, we whacked him, and there's four Iranian nationals carrying explosives trying to enter California. Why do you think Trump's got the chairman of Joint Chiefs on the borders, the northern border and the southern border? Got this. I tell you, thank God for Trump, man. Thank God for Trump. Thank God for Trump. Oh, God. We don't have Trump. Forget about it, man. We have Sharia law. We're in Sharia law right now. I told you Cuomo was an Islamist. We're in Sharia law right now. Cuomo's a stealth jihad radical Islamist. We're looking at Sharia law right now. This is Sharia law right now. Mark Levin, hey, listen, what he claims. This guy was top notch. Top notch. Hey, listen, I'm down with Fauci. I'm down with Barex. I'm down with Dr. Redden, Dr. Fauci, Dr. Brex. I'm down with Admiral Gerard. Trump's got the best guys. They had the models. They claimed that they were the data, according to the Stanford doctor, the data was faulty. It wasn't very good. They did the best they could. So we overshot. Okay. According to the Stanford doctor, it's a 1 in 1,000 chance you get infected with the virus. That's a 0.001 chance, right? So we're gonna go forward. Wear the mask. I wore my mask today. I'm gonna follow the guidelines, but keep that in the back of your mind, because what concerns me the most now is how we go back with the economy. I'm concerned. I walked the streets of Brooklyn today. I mean, I don't know how we come back over here. These small businesses are getting hammered. Absolutely hammered. It's not Trump's fault, right? But who controls these states? Cuomo, Murphy, that chick from Michigan, Newsom, the Democrats, the big spots. Thank God we got DeSantis in Florida. Ohio is a Republican too, so thank God. It's a mess, John, right? And I believe Trump's going to straighten it out. Absolutely. I have faith in our great President Donald John Trump. I do not underestimate how low, how corrupt, how evil the Democrats will go to try to steal this election, November 3rd, 2020, basically. Because they're going to try to steal it, right? They're gonna go low. Believe me. They're not going to go away quietly. I heard of him, Wagon Fire. He's a pretty impressive guy. I'm just very concerned, very concerned. I don't trust the Democrats, these Democratic governors. Some are saying they're not going to open till August. Cuomo's got May 15th. He's probably going to go to June, maybe July. They called for all these beds, and they wanted Trump went across the freaking continent to get the Navy vessels for the states. He got the ventilators. He got the tens of hundreds of millions of gloves, John. It's crazy. Yeah, he is. He is, Wagon Fire. I'm just very concerned. Oh, absolutely, Barbara. I'm not saying, hey, Barbara, but for the grace of God Almighty, I'm a man of God, a man of Christ, and I believe God's got his hand on Trump, absolutely. But we still got to turn the lights on, right? We got to keep our eyes and ears open, right? We can't take nothing for granted, The Lamb came already, Barbara. The Lamb came. The Messiah was here. We killed him, basically. We were complicit. Nobody fought for Christ. God sent the Messiah, God in the flesh, and we watched him get murdered for no reason. Christianity is not a bloodthirsty religion. Jesus just stood up for God, and he got murdered. What did he do? Bring people back from the dead, heal the sick, feed the poor, right? Give to Caesar what is Caesar's, the Messiah did. That wasn't the plan. That was not the plan. God did not send Christ here to die. Sorry. It's because who Jesus Christ is why it happened. Because Christ was not going to back down. No. We were supposed to stand up like they did. You ever see that movie Spartacus? They were going to crucify Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. Nobody stood up for Christ. We watch Christ get murdered. We watch Jesus get murdered. The God in the flesh, bringing people back from the dead. Well, because of who he is, he wasn't going to back down. It didn't have to happen. But Jesus is who he is. He stood up for God. He stood up for God. I read the Bible, Barbara, but God is not just in the Bible. You can find God in the Bible? Absolutely. I did the 19 annotation of St. Ignatius of Loyola. I read the Bible for almost a year, and I meditated on the scripture. But God is everywhere. God has endless possibilities. You can find God when two people are together, and two people are among us, talk of Christ, God is there. You find God in a flower. You can find God in a baby. You can find God in your friends. God is everywhere if you want him to be. But we like to summon the evil. It's who you channel. It's all about who you channel. Prayer is a channel. I pray the Blessed Virgin Mary. I pray the Rosary. We killed Jesus. So it's late. What up, Cold Warrior? Thank God. You better believe it, Cold Water. Have a blessed one, Danny. I'm going to go too myself. I'm getting ready to go to bed. So, absolutely, Dennis. God bless you, Justin. Thank you, Barbara. God bless you. Thank you for the visit. I'm sorry. I'm just going hard. I went hard tonight. I'm sorry. I'm going to bring the vectors in. No, you know, I'm just, I'd rather be honest. I'm an honest guy, Barbara. I say how I feel. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, Johnny. That's what I'm doing. So, it is what it is. But everything's shut down, John, right? It's unbelievable. We have to be vigilant over here. We take nothing for granted. The only way they're going to win this thing is they're going to try to steal it. The Democrats are going to try to steal it. They'll send out Barack Obama, that other fraud. They'll send out Michelle Obama, that other fraud. Absolutely. Who says that you're not? Of course you are. I'm just very passionate tonight. I'm sorry. I'm usually I just was. You know what it was, Barbara? When I saw the what those reporters were doing to Trump, it really infuriated me. Right? That bothered me. What those reporters were doing to Trump. Oh my God. And then when I read this article with Michelle Obama and all that, I just got, and they got Biden in the basement, right? It just infuriated me, man. So I said, I'm going to be honest. Everybody, on a straight up election, Trump creams them. Landslide. I dropped a landslide a year and a half ago. I don't know about now. As bad as Biden is, Crazier things have happened, in politics. And there's so much ruthlessness, so much dishonesty and criminality in politics today. Oh my God, Wagon Fire, horrible. That's why I'm like on fire tonight. I'm like, this is crazy. There you go, Justin. There you go, right, John? Great question. I miss my Yankees. That's another thing. I don't have my sports. You know what I'm watching? I'm watching because I watch boxing on my right, Barbara. You know what I've been doing? I've been watching boxing. I'm watching boxing on the. I like Muhammad Ali, so I've been watching Ali. I watch all the fighters. I was watching Ali Foreman for like. I watched the documentary on Ali Foreman today. Oh my God! Wow. They were gladiators, man. Wow. George Foreman was an animal. Oh my God. I think George Foreman's great America. He's a great fighter. I like George Foreman. I like Ali too. I think Ali was, hey, listen, it was a turbulent era. Vietnam was not very good, unfortunately. I don't agree what Ali did with the war. He should have drafted and served. He did go to the Olympics and did the 1960 Olympic in Rome. He did do that for America. And but at least the guy, he lost his license. It's not like the young athletes today. They're millionaires, Ali was. I'm telling you, Wagenfire, right? The young athletes today are ridiculous. They're not Jack Johnsons. Jack Johnson lived in 1870s. They were lynching. They were lynching people back then. Jack Johnson was on a run. He was the first black heavyweight. Wait, Jack Johnson today? You're millionaires today. Be grateful, thankful. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you, God. Instead, it's crazy. Jack Johnson? Yeah, Giuliani's great. I wish he was the governor. Oh, he would have been a great governor. Dennis. What a mayor. He foresaw the 9/11. He had the bunker. He had the emergency. He was ready. Giuliani was ready, man. Not like de Blasio. De Blasio's blaming Trump. Cuomo's blaming Trump. That's what they do. That's what the Democrats do. They don't have the preparedness. They don't do their homework. Now, Cuomo over-prepares, tries to present himself like he's prepared, and it comes out that he's not. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He lies and cheats and blames Trump. Like he was when he was the hood secretary under the Clintons. He was with the Clintons. Cuomo. And he's campaigning. Murphy. Well, China's. I hope you're right, Barbara. But for the grace of God, go I. I got cabin fever big time, though. Oh, my God. Who did that? Giuliani, right? Giuliani was the best. Giuliani was the best. That was a rough time, too. That 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 prince from Saudi Arabia, Talaweed, after 9/11 and the buildings and we lost 5,000 Americans, he gave $100,000 check. He tried to give $100,000 check to Mayor Giuliani. Giuliani threw it at him. He was because he's Muslim. He was part of that Prince bin Talaweed. He's from the Muslim Brotherhood side of Saudi Arabia. Very bad. Very bad what happened here. From 2000, this is why I get upset too. From 2001 to Libya. We're only 10 years in. Khalid Sheikh, who's KSA? Mr. Moneyman in KSA. KSA. Is that North Korea? That's a North Korea? What's KSA? Saudi. Oh, okay. Because from 2001 to Benghazi, 10 years removed, not even 10 years, they're selling, they got 20,000 Soviet manpads and 400 FIM-92s to Al Qaeda in Libya. And everybody's after Trump. I don't know anybody, Wagafire. I don't know anybody. Nobody. 0.001 chance. I'm going to follow the guidelines. I'm going to wear my mask. I'm going to do whatever this rat governor says to do. I'm going to do. Wear a mask. I'm going to wear a mask. He's a rat as far as I'm concerned. Today I went out. I wore a mask. I bought some masks so if I have to go out again and get some food, I'll go out. What a rat. After I listened to the Stanford, then when I listened to the Stanford guy, I watched the Levine show, and it shows you how corrupt they are. And that Pelosi, that's what really, Barbara too. So Pelosi with Chris Wallace triggered me. Then I saw the Trump press conference, and then the way they attacked President Trump really infuriated me. And then when I listened to Levin and what he had on the show, that Stanford professor, the Stanford doctor, and the data, the statistics, I was just like, I'm done. I'm like, they're going to try to steal it because they're lying, right? They're lying about this, Wagon Fire. There's something not right. China, and then they indicted in America. Then you had the Harvard. I talked about this. I had it on the show. But I'm going to bring these vectors this week because we're going to start talking vectors because the vectors don't lie. The Harvard professor, the chair of the chemistry and chemical biological department in Harvard, is involved with the Wuhan University of Technology. And they had the lieutenant of the People's Liberation Army of the Chinese Communist Party. She was involved. And then they had the scientist stole 21 vials of research from this lab in Boston and brought it over to China. He's indicted. This is crazy. The robbery and the thievery that's going on between the technology and our proprietary information in America, what China's doing over here, and basically like the trade deals, the same thing. Somebody's making money with them. Politicians are getting bought off, so they have these one-sided trade deals until Trump came. So Trump came, he puts his heel on China. Trump came, he gets out of the fake Iranian nuke deal, he whacks Soleimani and puts his heel on the Khomeini. And Trump is putting the heat on Putin in a roundabout way. Putin's giving nukes to Iran. Putin's building LNG plants in Jamal and importing it into China with China, as China's helping Iran build LNG so Iran can become a natural gas exporter. There it is. So in that triad, everybody wins with a virus-filled America and a shutdown economy. Not for us to become a depression, but to lower us, to slow down Trump. It's a mess. And nobody will call it out for what it is. China's been five days. I mean, China's been through this 5 times, this merry-go-round, from the H1N1 to SARS. I mean, the Hong Kong flu. I mean, China's been through this 5. They've been through this rodeo. China, they know. Freaking China calls a quarantine around Wuhan. Johnny, come on, man. And we got to sit there and listen to these politicians, listen to these broadcasters, listen to these Democrats, not call it the way it is. And then they're going to open it up again, and it'll happen again. And we'll go, oh, it shouldn't have happened. We were ready for this. But I tell you this much. Thank God our great president, Donald John Trump, planned. So he said, listen, they're blocking me here. They're blocking me there. I'm going to build this economy so high that if it goes down, it's still going to be high. And that's what it is. There's one thing I can't believe, that the stock market is still so high after all the stuff that's what's going on. It's quite frankly, it's absolutely amazing. I don't know whether I believe that's manipulated to some extent as well. That's been in WikiLeaks as well, but it's just beyond belief though when you think about it. The stock market is so high and everything's shut down. Things are we're in a time where things are fake. A lot of fake things out there. Yeah, it's big time, Dennis. They call it the thousands talent search. And that chair from Harvard was big time involved with them. So they recruit Chinese students to come here, train in America, steal our data, steal our information, and bring it back to China. What's up, Luke? So, good night, Luke. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. I don't know who he is. This is crazy. It's really sick. It really is. But think, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. We're going to go through this again. Look at this. Are you kidding me? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. What a couple, right? Could you imagine? He's freaky anyway. Joe Biden is freaky anyway. Look at that. Could you imagine it? Michelle Obama's got junk in a trunk. And Joe Biden is real freaky. Could you imagine? Oh my God. That's a freak show right there. Two freaks. Good one, Barbara. I like that. You got me to laugh. I like that. Right? The two freaks. Creepy Joe. There's something. His hair's changed in the sun. Things are crawling up his legs. And Michelle Obama on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Boy, something was moving in there. She has junk in her trunk. That's unbelievable. And they whacked my girl, Joan Rivers. I loved her because she called out the bombers, the fakes that they are. I mean, I really don't care, quite honestly, what people do in their bedroom. That's what I did too, Cold Warrior. Marvin Hagler was great. I saw. Yo, you're right, Luke. Yo, Cold Warrior. I watched Roberto Duran go 15 with Hagler. I think he went 15 with Hagler. He went 15 with Hagler. And I think I love Duran. Duran. Hey, listen. He did the no mas. You know who's James? I don't know who you told. James? LeBron James? He has to cut. Yo, Cold Warrior, Justice says you got to come over to Scope. What time is it? Wow, it's 11:30. No, it's 12:30. I'm on for, what is it? It's 11:30. It's 12:30, right? I think it's 12:30. I got all fired up. Sorry. I mean, I got all fired up tonight. I'm sorry. I'll have Vectors tomorrow. It's 12:30. Wow. I got the boards over here. I'm gonna take pictures of the boards. I'm gonna blog them. I got three boards filled with vectors. I'm gonna blog them and I'm gonna bring in. You're right there, Dennis. That's an interesting point. Yeah, thanks, Luke. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start plotting the vectors. Wuhan, China, Tehran, Iran, Moscow, Russia. How they get into America is through Venezuela, Hezbollah, and Maduro. That's why Trump's got so they get it. So they infected us through the southern and northern border. That's the plan. That was the plan. So the Chinese Communist Party, this is the premise. This is our premise that we're going by. The Chinese Communist Party, this is the premise of the vectors. The Chinese Communist Party covered up this Wuhan virus. The cover up turned this into a biological weapon, a human biological weapon. I don't care what went on with the test tube, what went on, was it created in a tube, it wasn't created in a tube, it was natural or whatever the hell it was. I'm over here in Brooklyn. I don't know what's going on in China. All I know is, based on all the data coming out, China made a big cover up on this, and it infected the world. They self-quarantined. They quarantined Wuhan, and only so nobody outside of Wuhan could go in there, but people from Wuhan could travel to the world and infect the world. So the people that left Wuhan, Dennis, were human biological weapons. That's our premise. And the vectors now, how do I get into America? Through Venezuela, Hezbollah, and Maduro, narcotics. Like our great president did. He says, we're after narcotics. Yeah, he's after Hezbollah. We just whacked Soleimani. You don't think they're trying to blow up some buildings over here in America, Iran? If you don't think so, you're in another planet. So Iran wanted revenge. Yes. China wants to reduce us. China wants to be number one economy. Yes. And Russia will play with anybody, So they're complicit. Even though they covered up, Iran covered up, and China covered up bigly. So they allowed this thing, because if they would have let us go in there and blunt it, it would have been done. We could have blunted this thing in January. And everybody's going, well, February. February, Trump put travel bans on China, Europe, UK in January and February. When according to Anthony Fauci, they were tracking this thing. They're the ones that came to Trump, because Trump wasn't going to shut down the economy with nothing going on. When Fauci came in, Trump took the information from the scientists and the doctors, and he acted as a leader does. Game over. Pelosi was selling wine in California to the Chinese. What up, Luke? Pelosi was selling wine to China. What rats these people are. Rats. Lion rats. It is. But you got Cuomo over here. You got rats, Fredos, rats, and Sandinistas. You got rats and Sandinistas over in New York. Loaded. Oh my God. Handing out impeachment pencils, right, Dennis? Disgrace. As my Italian grandma used to say, disgrazia. Two-legged rats, exactly, Justin. Fredos, like you wouldn't believe. Fredos and Sandinistas. You believe it? De Blasio, I don't even know if that's his last name, is a Sandinista from Nicaragua. The mayor of New York. Handing out driver's licenses and municipal IDs to illegal aliens. As Newsom is handing out $500 checks to illegal aliens. There you go, Justin. Handing out checks, $500 checks to illegal aliens. I'm concerned about these governors and controlling these states. I don't believe them. I'm sorry. I just don't believe them. When I saw what Pelosi did on Chris Wallace, Chris Wallace pushed back hard, and she lied through her teeth, man, through her teeth. It's true, Luke. I believe that. They just want to be number one. They don't care about their people. They just want to make sure their economy. They're the number one oil importer. They're the number one oil importer on the planet. So they want to make sure they'll get oil. They'll take oil from al-Bashir from Sudan. They bought oil fields in Sudan. They bought oil fields in Iraq from Iran. Iran's involved. And then Obama's going to campaign, right, Barbara? Michelle's going to campaign. All the rats are coming out now. All the rats. Look at this. Could you imagine? What a couple. What a freaking couple. Could you imagine? It's creepy. Joe Biden's got something running up his leg, and she's got junk in the trunk. Absolute junk in the trunk. I couldn't believe it. The thing on Ellen DeGeneres. I don't know. The CIA, there's, I'm not saying that they're all corrupt, but there's definitely a corrupt wing in the CIA, and there's definitely a corrupt wing in the FBI. John Brennan, Michael Morrell, Leon Panetta. I like Gina Haspel. I hope she got the 4 Iranians that want to smuggle explosives into California, and I hope she's waterboarding them. I hope she captured the 4 Iranian nationals that were looking to smuggle explosives into California, and I hope she's waterboarding them in D.C., right in front of Pelosi. Disgrace. Absolute disgrace. Unbelievable. And you know something? I don't know how Trump is not in charge, according to the Constitution. He declared a national emergency declaration. I mean, I'm not a legal scholar, but I don't know how Trump doesn't have any. According to Mark Levin, he said that Trump's got the power through the Interstate Commerce Clause. I don't know. Obviously, Mark Levin is the constitutional scholar, but I don't know how Trump doesn't have the power. He declared the country's in a total national emergency. So I'm not sure if that means martial law. I mean, I'm assuming the country's on lockdown. The president's got all the power, no? That's what I'm thinking. Trump called it a national emergency declaration. Is that martial law? Is that martial law, Dennis? Trump's got the power, no? The president. Right? Like if Trump wanted to exercise it, I bet you he could. In a national, not really. According to Levin, Trump's the guy. The federal, the interstate commerce, according to Levin. Levin's one of the top legal scholars in America. Levin said the interstate commerce clause. Now I'm not a legal scholar. But Trump called for a national emergency declaration. He can't invoke martial law because these governors, you think he needs approval from the Congress? Oh, probably, maybe. I mean, because I don't trust these governors. I'm sorry. Right. And a very good one, Justin. So you're saying it's only about you moving military aid? Because I don't see, according to Levin, absolutely, Justin. According to Levin, Trump's got the power. The federal's got the power in the state of emergency. Because we're in a state of emergency. Right. That's probably what it is, Dennis. You're probably right. You're right, Porky. Trump is very smart. I mean, he's only been doing this for 4 years, and he outsmarts them all the time. Oh, that's how it goes. That's crazy, CB. Unbelievable, right? Pierced nipples. I was like, I don't want to know. I'm old school. that stuff freaks me out. All that whatever. Live your life, do your thing. You have just as much rights as me, right? You have just as much rights as me. What you live the alternative lifestyle? Go live your lifestyle. I really don't care. Go do your thing. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Right, Porky? Crazy, crazy. Look at this one. Talking about freaky. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Could you imagine? This one's got junk in the trunk, and this one's got something creeping up his leg. His hair and his legs turn brown or yellow when he gets a tan. I mean, these people are sick. That's great. I'm not shocked, Johnny. Right, Porky? I'm telling you, Porky. Look at the Ellen DeGeneres tape. There's something moving with Michelle Obama. There's something moving. And Crazy Joe. Corn Pop. Right, Dennis? What a duo, right? Could you imagine? Unbelievable. I think Sleepy Joe. I think creepy Sleepy Joe would get turned on. I think she knew she had them all pegged. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? My mind is going a mile a minute. Could you imagine? They're on a campaign trail. Could you imagine? They're on a campaign trail, and Sleepy Joe, Creepy Joe, starts to get a little touchy feely with Michelle, and he goes over there, and there's junk there. Could you imagine? Would you imagine and him forgetting? And it could happen because he forgets. Oh, Michelle's a chick, and he's going. Could you imagine Sleepy Joe grabbing her and grabbing her in the wrong him or whatever it is, grabbing her in the wrong spot? That'd be crazy, man. Unbelievable. And Joe go, "Oh my God, what's going on?" He forgot. He forgot that Michelle Obama's a tranny. Unbelievable. Beyond belief. Right? Beyond belief. Right, CB? Could you imagine? He's like, he doesn't remember things. He forgets. Hey, Michelle, how are you? He has a few drinks. He's hanging out, right? Right, Wagafire? He's hanging out. And he starts to get touchy-feely with Michelle. Could you imagine? I can picture that. And then Joe go, "Oh my God, I forgot." No, John, you got to look at the tape. The Michelle, the Ellen DeGeneres tape when she was dancing. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. There's something moving in there. There's junk in the trunk. I'm sorry. I don't really care because they lie, right? If you're going to lie about that, what else are you lying about, right? But when you see the tape, it's clear. There's junk in her trunk. Telling you, CB, it's off the hook. I could not believe it. This is insane. I had to check. I was online, and I said, I did a search, and this dude had a blog. He says, "You got to see this video. It's unequivocally true." And when I saw the video, I said, "That's it." So, hey, Porky, right? There's no right, exactly. And then on the blog I took this. There's this lady, Dr. Blanchard, and this guy Nesbitt. I forgot it, Martin, I think his name is, and they juxtaposed Nesbitt Martin, right? Exactly, Porky, and Dr. Blanchard, and those kids look like they're from those parents. And Michelle Obama claims that Dr. Blanchard delivered them. It's crazy stuff, bro. This stuff, you can't make this stuff up. There's something like Bama's Indonesian. I don't believe Hawaii. Kenya or Indonesia. I don't believe Bama. There's something not right with the Bamas. Like there's something not right with the Clintons. The Clintons are just as whacked out as the Bamas are, right? Just that Barack Hussein Obama does it with he's more low key, and Michelle Obama is not a loon job like Hillary Rodham Clinton. She's she's a lot more popular than Hillary Rodham Clinton, right? Exactly. Michelle did. His home country, Kenya. He was born in Kenya. I don't know. I think it's Indonesia. That's what I'm starting to think. I don't know, but I'm leaning toward Indonesia. I'm leaning toward Indonesia. It's I mean, and this thing with Jeremiah Wright, there's something that went down over there. Could you imagine? The guy with this Obama with his past. How does Barack Hussein Obama, with his past, become president of the United States if the mainstream intelligence, if there's not a corrupt wing of the CIA and a corrupt wing of the FBI making that happen? You better believe it. You better believe it. Exactly, Barbara. How does he get away with that? How does he get away with a fraudulent selective service registration card? In other words, he never mailed it in 1980. Well, John, just look at the video. Look at the video with Ellen DeGeneres show. There's something going on, and there's junk in the trunk. That's all I need to know. That's it. There you go, Porky, right? There it is. There it is. It's a fact. Just go to the Ellen DeGeneres video. Just go to the Ellen DeGeneres video. Her sex organs are outside. There it is. Yeah, 1980, John. 1980, Jimmy Carter, the Carter administration was considering a draft. So everybody had to pony up, get into the pool. Everybody had to get into the pool. 1980. So they took out the 1980, the cold case posse took out the 1980 draft card, Obama, and they did a forensic audit on it and claimed it was never mailed. So there's that one. So if Michelle Obama's got junk in a trunk, that means the kids are fake and the marriage is fake. What else is fake with the Obamas, right? What else? What else are they hiding? I really don't care, but the fact that they lied, right? There you go, right? Wagon fire. There it is. But look at this. Hillary Clinton could run for president. Michelle Obama, another fake fraud politician. Joe Biden, another fake fraud politician. They could run for president and vice president. And President Trump is a Russian KGB. According to the Democrats, President Trump was in Wuhan creating the virus. Right? That's why they're dynamic, Wagon Fire. The father of lies. And they are stone cold criminals. Who knows? Obama, Porky. Oh my God. And I bet you Obama's not a nice guy. I bet you he's a sick dude. And everybody pawns him off like he's this, benevolent leader. He was the worst president we ever had. He's a big fraud, as is Michelle Obama, and as is Hillary Rodham Clinton and the Clintons. There isn't much distance between the Clintons and Obamas. Just that Michelle Obama and Barack Obama smile more. That's all. Porky, right? It's unbelievable. Could you imagine if this comes to light that she runs for vice president? Could you imagine what a freaky couple? Oh my God. The freaks come out tonight. Biden's got stuff up his leg and Michelle Obama's got junk in the trunk. Unbelievable. It's beyond belief. When I saw that video, I said, I'm done with this. Unequivocal. Joan Rivers was right. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. You're right. I agree with you, Dennis. It's like in my world, I'm a God-fearing Christian man. I'm a man of Christ. I'm a man of the rosary. Like I believe we crucified Jesus. Not the Jews. We did. Christ was a Jew. Mary was a Jew. The 12 disciples were Jewish. Peter, the first pope, was a Jew. Oh, Paul was a Roman Jew. Oh my God. The hierarchy of the Jewish, because there are Messianic Jews that believe Christ was the Messiah. There are Messianic Jews that believe Christ was the Messiah. And there were Jews during the early times of Christianity that died for Christ after Christ left and went to heaven, ascended into heaven. There were Jews like Peter, like Paul. Christ had to throw him off the horse. He was a Roman Jew killing Christians. If we would have stood up, I don't know about that, Johnny. According to this guy, Michael Walsh in the Post, he believes that Michelle Obama, absolutely, Barbara, he believes that Michelle Obama and Joe Biden, he thinks Michelle Obama is going to run. And everybody's, oh my God, unstoppable. I don't believe that. I think Trump still beats her. I think Trump still beats them. Because if it's not going to be Michelle Obama, it's going to be Elizabeth Warren. That's what I think. I don't think Amy Klobuchar is going to get it. He needs an attack dog. He needs energy. So if it's not going to be Michelle Obama and Barack Obama campaigning and maybe Barbara, right? So this guy Michael Walsh from the Post believes that they're going to run. That's what infuriated Barbara. That infuriated me even more. They're all criminals. They're all stealing. Like you know, I'm a fair guy. You know, politicians are going to do what politicians do. They're going to, not everything's going to be perfect. But for Joe Biden to sit as vice president while Hunter Biden sits on Burisma, as Hillary Clinton sits as Secretary of State, and Bill Clinton's driving around with his Clinton Foundation Winnebago, getting European businesses to go get around Western sanctions and make business deals with Iran, and selling off our nuclear assets to a Russian energy agency for hundreds of millions of dollars. It's crazy. 24. I got, Dennis, I hear you, brother. I'm down with you, Porky. I'm just concerned. I'm cautiously optimistic because I'm concerned about the extent the Democrats will do, the corruption that the Democrats will put forth to try to win this thing. Because they're not gonna let just Trump walk in the White House for another 4 years. So them putting Biden there, they got something up their sleeve. You're right, Johnny. Porky, I'm down with you, bro. I'm Trump to the end. I'm just concerned I don't think they put Biden there. Biden is there for a reason. Biden can't put sentences together. They would love to keep Biden in the basement for the next till November and just do a mail-in vote, a mail-in ballot, and steal that way. That's one premise they would love to happen. Have the country on lockdown till November, and then do a mail-in ballot. That's the Democrats' plan. Get Michelle Obama on the ballot with Joe Biden, and then do a mail-in ballot, and keep Joe in the basement for 5 or 6 months till November, and let Michelle Obama campaign. So it's like she's running for president, but she's not. And then he resigns, and she becomes president if they win. If they steal it. Exactly, Porky. Exactly. There you go. You think Watt's back in the White House? I don't know. They may have to. The deep state may be forcing them. They may have talked to Michelle saying she has to run. Or they'll be exposed. Right? They're compromised. So I can see the deep state now. Okay. Michelle, if you don't run, we expose you. Obama, if you don't run, if you don't support this, we expose you. Both. Right. I can see that. That's their leverage. That's why they're there. That's why they love Clinton, because the Clintons are compromised, and that's why they love the Bombers. The Bombers are compromised. They loved Barry Soetoro, Barry Sabakwa, Barack Hussein Obama. Is he a Christian? Is he a Muslim? I mean, the stuff that came out on this guy. Right. There you go, Johnny. They may, exactly. They say, listen, Michelle, you don't run, we expose you. Now, she's got a lot to lose at that. She's got a lot to lose. They got money, but she likes the accolades. And so does Obama. So, right? They got Hillary Clinton. She's done. I don't know what she's doing. They have enough cash, but they may get threatened. Absolutely, Barbara. The deep state may be threatening them. John Brennan, Michael Morrell, Leon Panetta, James Comey, James Clapper. Absolutely, John. Very uninformed. James Clapper. And who's the other guy? Robert Mueller. They all wanted Trump. So they get together. They said, Michelle, if you don't run with Biden, we're going to expose you. She's got to think about that. And she knows what they're capable of doing. Because don't forget, there you go, Barbara. Don't forget, they control the media. Who controls mainstream media? The intelligence community. Big time influence. Look at Mandalay Bay. Look at Mandalay Bay. Right? People go to a concert, a bloodbath. Nothing about it. Mainstream media. Boom. It's sick, Porky, right? But look at it. Mandalay Bay. No report. People get killed at a concert. Nobody knows what happened over there. Right? Mainstream media suppressed it because the intelligence community was in the middle of a debacle beyond belief. So they had a lot of collateral damage there, and the intelligence agencies put a stiffer on that one, right? Truth be told, but we got to get Trump reelected. Very important, getting President Trump reelected. I would love him to run for 3 terms because that would definitely ice the Democrats. We cannot have a Democrat sniff the White House ever. Not the ones that are like today. It would be a problem for this country. What are we talking about, Porky? Trump's got to get reelected, and we got to get him for a third term. Trump. Mandalay Bay, big time cover up. And who was behind the cover up? Right, Barbara? Who's behind the cover up? Mainstream media with the intelligence. Well, Bloomberg made the mistake of coming out late, because Bloomberg would have been a bigger player with Biden. Bernie Sanders is not a political. He doesn't know politics. He's his politics, first of all, socialism, and the way he handles himself is really ridiculous. No wonder why Hillary Clinton just ran roughshod over him. Mini Mike. See, Mini Mike had his organization. Nothing to sniff at. He's got money and organization. But unfortunately, Mini Mike got in late, right? Because it would have been more interesting. If Mini Mike was involved, it would have been really a disruption. Because I wanted Bernie, it would have been a real disruption for the Democrats, Mini Mike would have been a disruption, because I don't believe in the dough, right, Porky? Yeah, but if he really was serious, he would have got in earlier, John, right? And he would, if he was more of a player, he would have been more of a disruption for the establishment. Plus, with Bernie Sanders, if he had more of, I thought he was going to have a bigger part over here to really disrupt the Democrats, But he turned out to be a real loony toony, that Bernie Sanders, Fidel Castro, and what really blew it away for me. To her credit, I like to call them out when they don't do right, but to her credit, Martha McCollum called out Bernie Sanders and asked him, I think it was about Norway or Finland or a country like that. Well, she said to him something, I'm paraphrasing it, something to the effect that, what about the Norway or Finland, one of those countries, what about their tax structure that you like? And you know what he said? He doesn't know anything about it. You believe that? Here's a guy that stands up in front of everybody, talks about socialism, and you should get this, you should get that. And then he talks about, well, what about Norway? What about Finland? What about Sweden? And then she asked him a question about those countries, and he couldn't answer the question. I was like, this guy's a moron. Total moron. How are you, as President of the United States, as espousing something over the top and don't know, you're talking about and using examples and models from other countries and don't know anything about these other countries? And on national television, Fox News, one of those town hall meetings. Right, Barbara? How do you do that? I was like blown away. I said, this guy's a moron. That was the finishing kiss off of the Bernie Sanders candidacy. I was hoping for him to get in there and really create havoc with Biden, Kamala Harris. Have a blessed one, Porky. I'm going to get off too. It's 1 o'clock. I got to go. I'm going to get some sleep. I'm tired. So we're fired up tonight. We were fired up tonight. We're going to get behind our great president, because it's going to be a dogfight. We take nothing for granted. Absolutely, Porky. God bless you all in the room, Porky, Barbara, Wagon Fire. We're going to take nothing for granted, and we're going to get our great president reelected. Dennis, God bless you. Justin, God bless you. God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. Thank you for your service. Thank you for we need baseball, absolutely. Good night, Barbara. Good night, Johnny. God bless you. That's true too, John. I agree. So God bless you all in the room. God bless the men and women. God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. Thank you for your service. Thank you for providing me with the freedom that I love, and that's the broadcast. Right? God bless the greatest country on the planet, America. I love my country. God bless America. I was fired up tonight. Absolutely, Johnny Scandalous. Wagon Fire, God bless you. Between watching Pelosi on Chris Wallace, watching the reporters go after our great president, Donald John Trump, and then I watched Mark Levin, and he was interviewing that Stanford doctor. I was blown away what they're doing to our great president. And God bless our great president fighting for the American people, Donald John Trump. This is Frankie Russo, and I'll see you in the future. God bless you all, YouTube. Cold Warrior, God bless you. Thank you for the visit. God bless you. Thank you. And I'll see you in the future.